Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Money and Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Sheryka Alford, and she is
Anntricia Bray Smith.
Today, we are honored to have special guest Charlene Rhinehart with us today. But before we get started, as always, the views expressed on the Money and Mindset podcast are for entertainment and informational purposes only and do not constitute any financial, legal, or other type of advice. So, Charlene, you are a CPA and also the author of Dividends Are a Queen's Best Friend, a beginner's guide to dividend investing. So we are going to talk about dividend investing. Charlene, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, first, I want to say I'm honored to be on this Money and Mindset podcast. This is exactly what's needed right now and all the time, because you can't make money if you don't have the mindset to do that, right? So this is needed for people right now, especially since this pandemic happened and just so many uncertainties in the economy. So thank you for doing that. And that's part of the reason I wrote Dividends Are a Queen's Best Friend, and that I do what I do, because I realize that we need resources. We need information to simplify our lives, especially as Black women. Black women, we've been working twice as hard for years. We've been just being super women in our lives. And so we need resources that will help us and give us permission to actually do what we want to do, to rest. And dividends are the answer to help most people do that.
So let's back up. Now, I know on numerous episodes, we have talked about stock market investing, whether it be through retirement accounts or just non-retirement brokerage accounts. Would you explain to us a little bit? Because I know we have like day traders, we have swing traders, and then here you are, you're pushing this dividend trading or whatever. Can you explain to the audience what exactly is a dividend?
Yeah, so many people, especially under 60 or 70, may not be talking about dividends because it's typically reserved for retirees. But dividends are another stream of income that you get for investing in the stock market. So a trader, in order to make money in the stock market, they have to buy and sell. Day traders, they buy and sell in the same day. Swing traders, they have a longer period of time in which they buy and sell, but that's their ultimate goal, to buy at a low price, sell at a high price, make that money from that capital appreciation that occurred. But with dividends, you have the chance to benefit from capital appreciation when the stock goes from $10 to $100. That would be a dream, right? And then you also have a chance to capitalize on that extra income that the company gives you every month or every quarter, just because you were an investor. So you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to do anything extra to get those dividends. You just have to make sure you have that stock in your portfolio by a certain date in order to qualify for this extra stream of income. And you don't just get it once. As long as you're holding these shares in your portfolio, guess what? You get it this quarter, next year, 10 years from now. As long as the company continues to declare dividends, you have rights to that extra income. It's amazing. So that means that you can put yourself in a position to fund your lifestyle with dividends.
So this is a buy it and hold it type situation. It's not a buy it and try to sell it real fast.
Yeah, I was just, the question came up because this is new for me. This term that you're using when you say dividend, it's new. And so I'm all in and wanting to know more. Is it something long-term or short-term? Because, we talk to people about thinking about long-term, more into the retirement years and saving and stacking up. So what angle am I taking with this particular
That's
product?
A great question. Great question. Guess what? If you sell your stocks, you don't get those dividends. So it's a long term. As long as you want those dividends deposits to keep flowing into your account, you have to hold on to that stock. That means that dividend is a reward for you being loyal to that company and say, I'm going to be with this company for the long run. So there are companies that have been paying dividends for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And guess what? They don't always pay the same amount. Sometimes they increase their dividend amounts. So you may get $1,000 this year in dividends, next year, 1,100, following year, 1,400. You don't even have to buy additional shares of stock because they gave you an automatic pay raise. That's what we like to call in the dividend world, a pay raise.
All right.
You are entitled to that extra stream of income.
Now,
so I got to jump in because while these thoughts on my mind, I'm getting old now. The only place I've ever seen a dividend is on a bank statement, like say a savings from my credit union. I've seen something that says dividend or some interest earned or something of that nature. Now, is this the same?
It's a different kind of dividend, so they classify theirs as dividends, but I'm referring to the dividends that you buy from that you get from publicly traded companies. And not all company stocks give you dividends. So there are growth stocks like Amazon and Tesla. They're not giving you dividends because they are more interested in reinvesting the profits that they earn, their retained earnings, back into their company so that they can continue to grow at an exponential rate, faster than their peers. So they're not giving that out to investors. But you have more established companies out there like AT&T that have been paying dividends for decades.
Yeah. Now, how did you get involved with dividend investing? As you were coming up, did your parents talk to you about investing in the stock market? Or because oftentimes, of course, I go back to the origin of things because I'm interested in what were you taught coming up about finances? How did you stumble upon dividend investing?
Yes, so I started investing when I was in college. I didn't have dividends. I had stocks that didn't pay dividends, mostly growth stocks. And I lost all my money because I was investing during the crash, 2008, 2009, didn't know what was going on. I just wanted to put my money in, see what happened, hoped it would grow, and it didn't. And I lost all my money, and I started working for a bank. And I worked on their financial statements, and I noticed that, wait, they're giving shareholders these dividends? What the heck? Why are they getting money? They're not doing any work. I'm doing the work here. And so when I left my job in financial services, I started getting dividend checks in the mail. I'm like, wait, I didn't do any work. I left the company. Why are they giving me money now? And that's when the light bulb went off, like, wait, they are giving me money because I have shares of the company stock. Wow. So what if I have shares of various company stocks? That means Target can pay me, Walmart can pay me, all of these different companies can pay me. I can get paid every month from every company out there that I already buy items from. So that was a game changer for me, especially since I had quit my job. And entrepreneurship, it can be tough. I'll be honest, my first 3 months of entrepreneurship, I made $70. And I was like, okay, this is a lot of work. I'm an introvert. I don't want to be out there promoting myself every second of the day. I want to live my life, do something that is comfortable for me. And so dividends, it allowed me to do that. I was able to wake up when I wanted to, just be who I was, and still earn income. All I had to do was invest. I didn't have to do anything else. That's what appealed to me, that I could still live my dreams, go after the life I wanted, and have that security that I could have extra income flowing in from any company I wanted, as long as I invested in their stock.
Awesome. If you're just now joining us here on the Money and Mindset podcast, we have special guest Charlene Rhinehart, the Dividend Queen, with us today.
Now, absolutely, she is all of that. Absolutely, I'm drawn in, and I just had a quick question here. You have a book there, about dividends. What exactly can someone like me, who has really no education on this, learn from purchasing that book?
Yeah, so this book is not like any other book on the market. I made sure that it was female friendly because when I was reading books, nothing spoke to me and my experiences. And I know growing up, it was all about consumption. We had to buy everything, look a certain way, just do certain things. And so I used the shopping mall as an example. My goal is to help more women build a stock portfolio that's bigger than their shoe collection. I was so obsessed with shoes and things like that when I was younger. So now you get a lot of references to the shopping mall because we know how to shop. We understand how that works. And buying a stock and getting those rewards from the stock market is the same way. If you have what are those cards like Victoria's Secret, they give out rewards, or just all those different companies, they give out rewards when you buy stuff. That's just like how dividends work. But if you keep those dividends in your portfolio, that means you will be able to benefit from the power of compounding over the long term. So there are some people who take the money and run. They get their dividend deposits, they take it. Other people, they reinvest their dividends into the company, which is very smart because you want your dividends to produce more dividends so that when you retire, you can have this big portfolio of dividends that's just paying you every month, and you can comfortably live off of that.
Now, you have a website that provides a lot of this information as well. How can people find out more about you?
Yes, you can go to wealthywomendaily.com or dividendqueens.com.
Okay, and I'll be sure to include that in the show notes. Now, for that, I'll say man or woman, because, you know, I know you specialize in teaching women, but I talk to everybody. For that individual who, you know, they may kind of be on the edge regarding investing, what bit of advice or inspiration do you have to give to them to just do it?
I completely understand, but I realize that you cannot save your way to wealth. Wealth is an accumulation of assets, and you have to build various portfolios that enable you to have that money when you need it. Savings, guess what? When you have savings, you may have 10,000, 100,000 in savings. If you tap into that savings and get 50,000 out, you only have 50,000 left. So it's not really growing. It's growing at a low rate, but that won't be able to help you survive, help you to pay your rent or bills or just anything. But investing is that security where, hey, I put $1 in today and that dollar is worth more down the line, and it's going to keep growing. So you want your money to keep growing because, you know, if we were talking about the wealth gap exists because our money doesn't grow. We don't invest. And so even if we made the same amount of money as somebody else, guess what? There would still be a wealth gap because they are investing in income producing assets, just all types of assets that are allowing their money to grow at a fast rate. So we have to think about, okay, at what rate, at what percentage is our money growing every year? I know savings is considered safety for most people, but it's not security. It's not security. That's why you see when a person only saves, they are scared because the main thing a person who only saves says, oh my God, what if I run out of my savings? What am I going to do? When you invest, you don't worry about running out of your investments because your investments keep producing. So think about that when you're thinking about, man, should I invest? Do you want more money in the future? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely, we do.
Exactly.
What's the difference for someone, say, put money into an annuity or mutual fund versus what you're talking about? Is there any difference at all?
Yeah, so you know, like a mutual fund or exchange traded fund, all of these funds, they're a basket of different funds that are managed by somebody else. So you are paying for that management. And a mutual fund, you can't directly buy mutual funds from the stock exchange. You can't buy and sell them like you can at a regular stock. But you get more flexibility and freedom over your investments when you own your account. So there are different ways to invest. You can invest in the 401k, but you're investing in those items that the company will allow you to invest in. You can invest in a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA. And I tell people, before you get that taxable brokerage account, look at those tax advantaged accounts that will allow you to invest. I love the IRAs, individual retirement accounts. Right now, you can invest up to $6,000 a year. And people always think, oh, but I don't have $6 to invest. I said up to $6,000, not $6,000. So that means you can invest $10 in your Roth or traditional IRA. You can invest nothing this year, but the bonus that you get when you invest your money in a individual retirement account, such as a Roth IRA, is you put your money in now with dollars that have already been taxed. You're paying your tax bill up front. So now later down the line, when you retire around 59 and a half, you'll be able to take all that money out your portfolio tax free. So if you build up your portfolio,
look, 50 is my goal.
Exactly. So if you build your portfolio up to $1 million, you'll be able to take out all that money. And that's with the Roth IRA. You have to be 59 and a half to be able to take out your income and earnings tax-free. If you want to take out your contributions, that $6,000 that you contributed, you can take that out at any time. But to be able to take out your earnings tax-free, that you have to meet the time requirements in order to do that.
That's good. That's good.
And did I answer your question? I think I went into accounts and started thinking about
all that's good. Just kind of give us a little more understanding. This has been so wonderful. What other books and things do you have before we wrap up today?
Yeah, so I have Debt Free Before Graduation. It's only available ebook right now, but this book is about a first-generation college student's guide to graduate debt-free, going from 0 to 100K in less than 4 years. I think that's really important because it's hard to invest if we have debt. And student loan debt is hindering the net worth potential of a lot of Black people right now. We have over 7 million households have less than $10,000 net worth. And that's because student loan debt is driving that. So that's why I have Debt Free Before Graduation, because sooner we can get out of debt, the more money we can allocate towards dividends.
That's right. And hold that book up one last time. Your beginner's guide to dividend investing. Let's see that. So, hey guys, we've said it before. 2021, we are fresh out of excuses. True enough, you know, maybe you didn't learn about this growing up.
Don't make me sing my song on this.
But we have books available. We have podcasts. We just have a plethora of information. So if you don't know, just start learning about it. Charlene, it has really been a pleasure having you with us today. And again, I will link your website in our show notes so that people can keep up with you and also get a copy of that book.
Thank you so much.
And I will definitely grab mine as well. Nonetheless, guys, this has been another episode of the Money and Mindset Podcast. I am Anntricia Bray Smith.
And I'm Sheryka Alford. Take care.
Bye-bye.